trophy of the season between Arsenal and Manchester City. Manchester City won the Carabao Cup Final at Wembley with a scoreline of 2-0 thanks to goals by Nico O'Reilly in the second half of the game. Yesterday, clearly we were all frustrated as Gunners fans, but now after all the emotions have calmed down, we want to analyze this game and look at what went wrong yesterday. This is the Arsenal Pulse, and let's take a dive look into what happened yesterday in the Carabao Cup Final. First and foremost, let's check the highlights from the game that went up. So we had a few chances. You can see first and foremost Havertz on the ball, and then Baka and the keeper Trafford managed to make some good saves. Then City had a chance just before halftime, cross to Haaland. So the game was really tight first half. That's when Kepa did a blunder and O'Reilly scored his first goal. So this was very disappointing from Kepa. That huge blunder might cost us this game. Then went straight to Rodri, who then is the ball into Chapi, Nunes. Then O'Reilly managed to score his second goal of the game. So that was the killer blow. That was the sucker punch in that game. He was a young boy, 21 years old, and he managed to give us the killer blow in that game. Then he managed to have some few chances, but we were not clinical enough in that day. Gabriel Jesus hit the post again. So it was very frustrating game and disappointing game because all Gunners fans wanted to win this game. So Manchester City ended up being the winner of this game. And as far as we are concerned, this is the first trophy of the season, and we went into this game as the favorites for this competition because the form was on our side. Manchester City was knocked out of the Champions League just before this game. Everybody was looking at Arsenal as this is the game that we need to make a statement, but all did not go according to plan. So let's check first the lineup that was deployed by both managers, and you can see they started with Kepa Arrizabalaga, which many people are debating. Should Kepa have started or Raya? For me, I think Kepa should have kept his place because he was the cup goalkeeper for all the time we were playing in the Carabao Cup. And there was a time where he saved the penalty shootout versus Crystal Palace. So yesterday he just made a huge mistake which cost us the game. Hincapie, it was a very bad performance from Hincapie because I thought that he was when he got the yellow card, that was the time when Semenyo now started to overrun him on the wings. Ben White also had a very poor game. He was absolutely roasted by Doku. Doku was having fun on the wings. And that's the game where you look and say, we really missed Julian Timber in this game. Saliba played okay, and Gabriel, they were playing okay. But for the two goals, we didn't really see if their impact was there. Because I was thinking maybe Gabriel or Saliba might be in the box. Subimendi and Rice, they defended for much of the game. We did not see any creativity from them. Rice especially, I expected Rice to be the engine, to be the one to drive people forward, but it was a very poor game from Declan Rice. Havertz, Saka and Trossard, we did not see anything of attacking threat in this game apart from that chance where Havertz missed, and then Saka managed to also miss that chance, but it was a good save from Trafford. Gyökeres, poorest game of the season from Gyökeres. He did nothing in that game. There's no shot on target. He didn't even have a shot on goal. I don't remember seeing Gyökeres even trying to maybe win a header or score. So it was a shocking performance from Gyökeres. And if you look at Manchester City, Haaland was also kept quiet by our two centre backs. Ryan Chaki, Semenyo, and Doku had a very wonderful game, and you can see the reason why Man City had a good game is because they had a solid midfield that was creative, and their wingers were fast and they were able to create chances. Rodri and Bernardo Silva, with the experience of winning trophies and their know-how about to go these huge games pressure, they also managed to play very good game. If you look at the defense, Nunes was unplayable and he made Trossard look average in that game, which was very surprising for me because Trossard is one of our best wingers at Arsenal. Saka was kept quiet by O'Reilly, and O'Reilly for me was the man of the match because this guy can do everything. He was able to attack and also defend Saka with such precision, and I was really wondering how come Saka was not able even to take on O'Reilly even once in the game. Ake Kusanov, they played well in the defense, and Trafford, it was a fantastic performance from Manchester City overall. And if you even look at the stats as well, for the first half, you can say that we were quite equal in the first half, and there was not really much going on. There were very few chances as well. And then in the second half is when now City step up their tempo and their performance. As you can see, they are clean on ball possession, they were clean on shots. We had the equal shots on target. They had 2 and they scored 2, meaning they were clinical. They got 2 chances and they managed to finish off. And big games like this, they need someone to have killer instinct, to be ruthless, because as we wasted our chances, Manchester City got their chances and they managed to score. So overall, I can say Manchester City were the better side in the second half, and there's something that Pep Guardiola managed to change that was able to change the direction of the game. And another thing I would like to criticize Mikel Arteta, since Hinkapie was already on a yellow card, I think at halftime he should have made the change early because he was getting roasted by Semenyo on the wing because he could not really commit. When you are on yellow card, you can't fully commit to challenges like if you don't have a yellow card. So for this sub, you can see it was made in the 65 minute after the 2 goals had already gone in. So I wanted Arteta to make the change early, and that is the only criticism I have of Arteta. The subs should have come early at halftime, or maybe before even the second goal went in, because when the second goal went in, that was the sucker punch for us. So it was very frustrating. And another thing I noticed is we were not able to control that midfield because the way Manchester City set up, they did not press our goalkeeper. So they let us have the ball. You could see our 2 centre backs, Saliba and Rice. They were always being given the space to have the ball, but they were not really trying to break the press from Manchester City. So all of us, we were really disappointed, and even Arteta is saying that we should use this cup defeat as fuel for the next few games. So this was the teams which started, and then if you look at the subs, Madueke came on, didn't really do anything. Martinelli, Jesus, yesterday it was just a bad day in the office. So you can see here is Nico O'Reilly and Pep Guardiola, and this is something that I said in the match preview. You cannot write off Pep Guardiola. This guy has the experience of winning trophies, and this was his 19th trophy as Manchester City manager and his 5th League Cup. So you can see this is a very experienced manager, and he understands the kind of pressure and level that are needed to play this game. For Mikel Arteta, you can say that he made a few blunders. The first blunder was playing Kepa in goal. That was a big mistake because he ended up costing us the game with that blunder, which now made the team even more rigid. And that's when Manchester City took over from there and they started to dominate. They have started to control the game. So Nico O'Reilly was man of the match, and he was the first player to score 2 goals for Pep Guardiola in a final. So we can see fans are really criticizing Bukayo Saka for a captain of Arsenal, that was not a very good performance. Bukayo Saka, we know what he can do. We know he can take on players. We know he can shoot from far. We did not see nothing from Bukayo Saka yesterday. Also, Trossard, he was nowhere to be seen. So this was just our seventh League Cup defeat, and this trophy, it's like it seems to be evading Arsenal because now we have gone 33 years without winning the EFL Cup. And the question that most people will be asking, will this loss affect our Premier League title race? So for me, I don't think this will affect our title race because this is a one-off game, and this is the game whereby whoever takes their chances wins it. This is not about points. So if it was about points, maybe we could have tried a different strategy, but this was a one-off game, and this is why most of the fans are really disappointed because we were playing this game like it's a Premier League game, like we were looking for points. No, this was the game to go and make a statement, attack from the get-go. Don't let Manchester City relax with the ball because we all know Manchester City, when they have the ball, they are able to find spaces, they're able to create something. And that's why you can see players like Ryan Chucky, they were doing stuff like this on the football pitch. So you can see that this was the kind of disrespect that Chucky was able to do. So they had creativity on the game, and this guy really performed and really was cooking. He was toying with each and every single player. So Ryan Chucky was a good performance from Chucky, and I can say that we also missed Ebere Eze because in that number 10 role we did not have Eze. You can see what he was doing to our players. So this was just total domination in the second half. Then the mistake by Kepa, which was forced by Chucky. So you can see this kind of showboating. But now you know that is what players do when they are on top of their game. They are with confidence. And for me, I enjoy it because it's entertainment. And also when we visit them at the Etihad and we manage to win, I expect also some of our players to do some kind of showboating. We should also show them that we are also not to be played with. Because if I was a Teta, I will be showing players that video. Look at how Ryan Chucky was kicking up the ball, and that was very, very disrespectful from Chucky. But anyway, we accept this. Congratulations to Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. This is their 9th League Cup trophy, the only one behind Liverpool. As I said, Pep Guardiola has won 5 League Cup trophies, more than Alex Ferguson and Jose Mourinho. And then this is the first time we have lost to Manchester City in 6 competitions. So we'll take it, but we still have to play them at the Etihad. And that is the most important thing, that in the league we still have the advantage. And if you look at even Pep Guardiola, he was saying that he prefers to be 9 points clear in the Premier League. So that means that Arsenal, we are still not bad. We can be frustrated, we can be annoyed, but this was just a one-off game, and it just didn't go according to plan. So in our head-to-head, you can see this was the first loss in quite a while versus Manchester City. So we hope to be changing things around when we face off at the Etihad, and as well we will have Timber back, we'll have Eze back, we'll have maybe Odegaard back, because also I think we lacked a lot of creativity in that game because it was such a toothless attack performance from our attack. And if you look at somebody like Victor Gyökeres, this guy needs service. So yesterday we did not see any kind of service that was being fed to Gyökeres, because this is a guy who relies on service. He needs people to feed him the ball. He needs somebody to create chances for him. So Gyökeres without service, it's like Haaland. You see, Haaland yesterday was anonymous. So all these strikers, they need they need someone to feed them. But anyway, overall, what I can say is that it was a good job. We managed to reach the final, and we are going to learn a lot of. We are going to learn the impact of this game on our players after the international break. And I expect Arteta, this will now be a time to reflect maybe on his tactics. Maybe he should look at maybe attacking more, taking more risks, because that is what we want to see. Because this squad is full of talent. If you look at our squad, it is a full of players who can attack. In this lineup, you can really see we had players of world-class level who can attack, but they did not perform because we were so rigid, we were so defensive in the way we wanted to play. So anyway, Manchester City have had the first knock, as I said in the preview. Whoever has the first knock will have the momentum. And as for the concerning the title race, I don't believe it's over. I still believe it's a long way to go, and there'll be plenty of twists and turns as we go ahead. And that game versus Manchester City, for me, will also be crucial. Arsenal cannot lose this game if they want to win the Premier League. So in other news, as we head for the international break, we have recently confirmed that Gabriel Magalhaes has withdrawn from the Brazil squad, and this is to add to players like Timber, Eze. Trossard will also not be participating in the international break. Odegaard also is not going to be participating in the international break. So this international break, for me, it has come at a good time. We don't have to play for another 2 weeks. So this will be a chance for players to reflect, look at that performance, and see where we went wrong. Because it's games like this that actually we need to ensure that we don't repeat such performances in games like this. And I believe we are still in 3 competitions. Premier League is 80% done. Champions League, we are still in it, and we are still in the FA Cup. So there are still plenty of positives to take from this game. And as I say, this season is not yet over. We can use this to galvanize the squad, or also the players can collapse. So it will be pretty interesting to see how the Arsenal players will react. But as for the fans, you don't need to really go into the team. We can criticize Kepa, we can criticize the manager Arteta, we can criticize the players. They didn't really show enough to want to win, but games like this will happen. Even teams, big teams, Real Madrid, Barcelona, they'll have games like this where they don't turn up. So that is all for today. And now the emotions have calmed down, and a lot of people are now clear, and their mood is at least we have a bit chilled. So we'll see how this international break players are going to reflect and refresh. And those players with injuries, we hope they come back. The likes of Eze, Odegaard, we need this creativity back. We need these players back. And for the remaining 2 months of the season, the most critical 2 months of the season, we need to ensure that we go hammer and tongs. There is no dropping points, no losing focus. So as I've said, congratulations to Manchester City. They were better on the day. They deserve to win the game, but we are going to meet at the Etihad. And Ryan Chucky, who have blood on your hands, we are going to meet up. For those who are new to the Arsenal Pulse, subscribe, share this content, and I want to create a Ghana's community of fans who actually enjoy football. As we all know, Arsenal is the biggest team in England at the moment, and we want to really ensure this season we end up with the trophy, or at least 2 trophies. So we'll see about it. We're doing content the international break. Stay tuned for more to come. See you in the next one. Peace.